Get your laughing gear and
a lamb shank Dagwoody.
barbecue has no texture, you reckon? Look at the colour, the texture, look at that. First step is prep. You want a nice soft fat cap over the top, as much marbling as possible. Look for some flecks of fat on the upper leg. Thick as fuck, you want the thickest lamb shank you can get your hands on. Prospect glove on. Now we want to clean her up, so if you see any bits like this, nick that off. See the tendon running down the back? Now you can take that off, but you might want to truss it as we can lose some of the integrity. It should look something like that. Now this is where I have a good look at the silver skin. If it's extremely thick under the knife, then I'm going to remove it and I will truss it soft to jelly, so we shouldn't get a tough chew for the end cook. Now we move on to the next step, seasoning. Adding a binder definitely isn't mandatory, but especially if you've got a piece of lamb that's quite dry, something like a binder will help the seasoning stick 10 to 15% better. I use mustard, Vegemite slurry, or sriracha. They're my go-to. Maybe a tablespoon per shank. This is the only time I'll let you rub your meat. Now, lamb being a slightly gamey meat, absolutely cracking with a coffee-based rub. Nice, even coat from about 50 to 60 centimeters, guiding in with your hand. If you're gonna eat all sides, season all sides. Bloody importantly, pat. Don't rub, save that for the bedroom. Right, we'll now bang them into the fridge overnight to dry brine.
Battle plug is on. This is the time where you fire up the barbie, tune out with all the head noise, and just enjoy the moment.
Now, because we've got 2 racks, we're going to put the tray underneath, catch some of the drippings, and we can make a jus or we can make a bit of a gravy afterwards. Right, we'll come back in about 2 hours and have a check. So you're aiming for a fairly thin and wispy smoke, a little bit of blue tinge to it. I like to build my fire closest to the cooking chamber and then add a cherry wood log offset to the heat, so it's just producing a little bit of extra smoke.
Who reckons you need to babysit an offset smoker? Get that truck out of here. I can even wash my car.
Right, once the thick end starts to darken, we're just going to place a little bit of a foil there and that'll just deflect some of the heat so we get a nice even caramelization. Running a little bit warm, so we're just going to adjust it. That's the right pace to know your smoke at. We'll put that down the bottom.
Preheated wood will arc up almost straight away.
After about 10 to 15, when it's arced up, we can now close her up again.
Now move on to a pea sauce, because that works really well, bloody well with lamb. Saute the garlic and the onion and then add all the spices. Taste test and adjust seasoning.
Bang your peas in. Once the peas are more flaccid than you, we'll blitz them up. Now add about 3 tablespoons of creme fraiche. Mix it through, then cover it until you're ready to serve. Look at the colour, look at that. Juicy than fucking Lucy as well. Right, now essentially we've shut down the smoker. We're just going to wrap them up and we're going to let the residual heat let it rest. When it cools down to around about 50 Celsius internal, then we'll continue on with the pastry. Righto, unwrap your lamb shank and we're going to bang it into some puff. Should look like that. Let's bang it into the oven at 180 Celsius until golden brown.
Get your mark, 1 eyeball around that.
Get a laughing gear around it, eh?
Bang it in your neck hole.